Welcome to Dark Screen Chronicles, where the shadows hold secrets, and the truth is darker than fiction. Join us as we unravel the chilling mysteries of true crime. From haunting cold cases to shocking tales of justice and deception, we explore the stories that keep you looking over your shoulder. Turn down the lights, lean into the darkness, and let the chronicles begin. Circleville, Ohio, a quintessential American town where life unfolded at a leisurely pace, and the annual pumpkin show was the highlight of the year. A place where neighbors knew each other by name, and the rhythm of life was predictable, comforting. But beneath this veneer of normalcy, a sinister current flowed, a hidden world of secrets, lies, and fear. It began in the summer of 1976, with an innocuous-looking envelope addressed to Mary Gillespie, a school bus driver. Inside, a letter that would shatter her world. Accusations of an affair with the school superintendent, Gordon Massey, filled the page. The writer, anonymous and unseen, threatened to expose her secret, to destroy her family, her reputation, her life. At first, Mary tried to ignore it, to dismiss it as a cruel prank. But the letters persisted, arriving with relentless regularity. The writer, who signed themselves as the Circleville Writer, seemed to possess an uncanny knowledge of her life, her schedule, her every move. They described details only someone close to her would know, fueling her fear and paranoia. The letters escalated. They weren't just about infidelity anymore. They targeted her husband, Ron, accusing him of his own indiscretions. They threatened their children, painting ominous warnings on road signs near their home, turning their daily commute into a gauntlet of fear. The terror wasn't confined to the Gillespie family. The Circleville Writer cast a wide net, sending letters to dozens of residents. Accusations of corruption aimed at local officials, whispers of embezzlement targeting business owners, and even dark hints of murder, casting a long shadow of suspicion over the entire town. Circleville became a town besieged by fear. Friends turned against each other. Neighbors eyed each other with suspicion, and the once strong sense of community crumbled under the weight of paranoia. The writer, a phantom lurking in the shadows, seemed to have an all-seeing eye, knowing the secrets of every resident, exploiting their vulnerabilities. The police launched a full-scale investigation, but the writer remained elusive. The letters were postmarked from different locations, written in various styles, sometimes even crudely printed with cut-out letters, making it nearly impossible to trace their origin. Was it a single individual, a group of conspirators, or a collective delusion born out of fear and mistrust? The investigation eventually focused on Paul Freshour, Mary Gillespie's brother-in-law, a man with a volatile temper and a history of conflict with the Gillespies. He became the prime suspect, but he vehemently denied any involvement, claiming he was being framed, a pawn in a larger, more sinister game. A booby trap, rigged with a gun, was discovered on Fresh Hour's property, intended for Ron Gillespie. The evidence seemed damning, but Fresh Hour maintained his innocence, insisting he was a victim of the same unseen force that was terrorizing the town. He was convicted of attempted murder, but the letters continued, even from behind bars, taunting the authorities, fueling the mystery. The letters abruptly stopped in 1994, leaving behind a trail of shattered lives, broken families, and a town forever scarred by the ordeal. Was Fresh Hour the sole author, driven by a twisted desire for revenge, or was he a scapegoat, a convenient fall guy for a more complex conspiracy? A web of deceit that extended far beyond the confines of Circleville? The Circleville letters remain an enigma, a chilling testament to the power of anonymity, the destructive force of secrets, and the enduring fascination with unsolved mysteries. They serve as a stark reminder that even in the most idyllic of settings, darkness can lurk, and the truth can be elusive, leaving a community forever haunted by the unseen hand that held it hostage. Delphi, Indiana. A town nestled amongst rolling hills, where the air hums with the quiet rhythm of rural life. Here, the days unfold at a leisurely pace, marked by the chirping of birds, the distant rumble of a train, and the familiar faces of neighbors. Here, children roam freely, their laughter echoing through the woods, a carefree soundtrack to idyllic summer days. But the tranquility of this idyllic setting was shattered on a crisp February day in 2017, a day that would forever alter the course of this small community. Two teenage girls, Liberty German, 14, with her infectious smile and boundless energy, and Abigail Williams, 13, quiet but fiercely loyal, set out for a carefree hike along the scenic Monon High Bridge Trail. They were inseparable, two bright stars in the small-town constellation, their futures brimming with promise. Liberty, the more outgoing of the two, captured their adventure on her phone, documenting their laughter, their playful banter, their youthful exuberance. These fleeting moments, captured in digital pixels, would later become chilling artifacts, haunting reminders of their final hours. As the afternoon shadows lengthened, casting long, eerie fingers across the trail, a chilling silence descended upon the woods. The girls vanished, leaving behind a trail of unanswered questions, and a community plunged into a state of profound grief and fear. The Monon High Bridge, once a picturesque landmark, now loomed over the search efforts, a haunting symbol of the tragedy, its graceful arches mocking the fragility of human life. The search for the missing girls turned into a desperate race against time. Law enforcement agencies, aided by a sea of volunteers, combed the rugged terrain, their hope dwindling with each passing hour. The silence that followed their disappearance was deafening. a constant, agonizing reminder of the lives abruptly extinguished. The community, once a tapestry of shared joys and sorrows, was now shrouded in a pall of fear and uncertainty. Then, a chilling breakthrough. A chilling audio recording, captured by Liberty's phone, offered a chilling glimpse into their final moments. A chilling male voice, uttering the chilling phrase, "down the hill," sent shivers down the spines of the entire community. The chilling recording, released to the public, became a chilling soundtrack to the chilling investigation. A chilling reminder of the chilling danger that lurked within the chilling shadows of the chilling woods. Years passed, the case growing colder, the unanswered questions gnawing at the heart of the community. Hope dwindled, replaced by a creeping sense of despair. Had justice been served? Would the truth ever be revealed? The moan on High Bridge, once a symbol of beauty, now forever etched with the haunting echoes of a tragedy that continues to reverberate through the hearts of all who knew them. Delphi, Indiana, forever changed. A town forever bound by the memory of two innocent lives cut short. A chilling reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of evil. The chilling silence that followed their disappearance, a chilling testament to the chilling mystery that continues to haunt this chilling community. December 1st, 1948. The dawn breaks over Somerton Beach in Adelaide, Australia, casting a pale, ethereal light on the pristine sand. A passerby, drawn by a strange sight, stumbles upon a man slumped against the seawall. He appears to be asleep, perhaps a victim of the night's revelry. But closer inspection reveals a chilling truth. The man is dead. The Somerton man, as he would come to be known, was a man of enigma, shrouded in an aura of secrecy. Impeccably dressed, he wore a suit and tie, a sign of refinement, yet his appearance was oddly incongruous with his surroundings. He carried no identification, no wallet, no keys, not even a single coin, as if he had deliberately erased all traces of his identity. His teeth had been meticulously filed down to the gum line, a bizarre and unsettling detail that hinted at a life lived outside the bounds of ordinary society. This was no ordinary man. He was a cipher, a riddle waiting to be solved. The most perplexing clue emerged from his trouser pocket. A small piece of paper bearing the cryptic Persian phrase, "Tamam shud," finished, written in elegant script. This seemingly insignificant scrap of paper would become the linchpin of the investigation, a tantalizing thread leading investigators down a labyrinth of dead ends. The Tamam Shud clue led investigators to a rare copy of the Rubaiyat of Omar Khayyam, a collection of Persian poetry. The final page of this particular book, torn from its binding, matched the fragment found in the man's pocket. Yet, despite extensive searches, the book and its owner remained elusive. Who had owned this book? What was the significance of this enigmatic phrase? Was it a message, a code, a final farewell? Or perhaps a desperate plea for help from a man trapped in a web of intrigue? The Tamam Shud became a haunting echo, a whisper of secrets that remained stubbornly concealed. The autopsy revealed a possible cause of death, poisoning, but the exact substance remained a mystery. Was it suicide, murder, or something more sinister? Speculation ran rampant, fueled by the macabre details of the case. Was he a spy, a secret agent entangled in a dangerous game? A rogue scientist with knowledge that threatened powerful forces? Or perhaps a victim of a bizarre love affair gone tragically wrong? The possibilities were endless, each more intriguing and terrifying than the last. The Somerton man became a sensation, his enigmatic presence captivating the public imagination. Newspapers and magazines were filled with lurid accounts of the mysterious stranger. The Tamam Shud case became a symbol of the unknown, a chilling reminder that the world is full of shadows and secrets. The public, fascinated and horrified, clamored for answers, but the Somerton man remained stubbornly silent, his identity and his fate forever shrouded in mystery. Decades have passed, and the Somerton man remains one of Australia's most enduring mysteries. His identity, his motives, and the circumstances of his death continue to baffle investigators and captivate the public imagination. The Tamam Shud clue, a tantalizing piece of the puzzle, remains stubbornly unsolved, a silent testament to the enduring power of human curiosity and the enduring mystery of the human condition. Welcome to Gemini, your personal AI assistant. The early morning hours of Halloween 2020. In the small, quiet town of Hemphill, Texas, a young woman named Livy Lewis, just 19 years old, with dreams of becoming a physician's assistant, lay lifeless in her car. A single gunshot wound to the neck, her life tragically extinguished. The silence of the night was shattered by the wail of police sirens, a stark contrast to the eerie tranquility that had previously enveloped the scene. Livy, with her infectious smile and boundless potential, was gone, leaving behind a community reeling from the senseless act of violence. Livy was a vibrant young woman, known for her kindness, her infectious laugh, and her unwavering dedication to her studies. She was a bright light in the community, a beloved daughter, sister, and friend. Her dreams of becoming a physician's assistant were a testament to her compassion and her desire to make a difference in the world. Nearby, Livy's ex-boyfriend, Matthew Edgar, lay injured, claiming to have no memory of the events that led to her death. Matthew, a troubled young man struggling with alcohol addiction, had a history of volatile behavior. Their relationship, while passionate at times, had also been marked by periods of intense arguments and jealousy. Libby, recognizing the toxicity of the relationship, had recently ended things with Matthew, hoping to move on with her life and pursue her dreams. However, Matthew, unable to accept the end of their relationship, struggled to cope with the separation. His jealousy and possessiveness had escalated in the weeks leading up to the tragedy, leading to increasingly heated arguments and a growing sense of desperation. The trial became a media circus, every twist and turn scrutinized by the public, every piece of evidence dissected and analyzed. The courtroom transformed into a stage, the actors playing out their roles in a real-life drama. The prosecution argued that Edgar, despite his claims of amnesia, knew exactly what he had done, that his actions were deliberate and premeditated. They painted a picture of a jealous and possessive ex-boyfriend, consumed by rage and a desire to control Libby's life even after their relationship had ended. They pointed to a history of volatile arguments, fueled by Edgar's possessiveness and Libby's growing independence, suggesting a motive for the tragic events that unfolded that night. The defense countered, pointing to his history of blackouts, arguing that he was not in control of his actions, a victim of his own uncontrollable impulses, a man who simply could not be held accountable for the actions he couldn't remember. They portrayed him as a troubled young man, struggling with alcohol addiction and grappling with the loss of his relationship. The jury, tasked with unraveling the truth, faced an impossible challenge: to decipher the truth amidst the conflicting narratives, the emotional testimonies, and the ever-present shadow of doubt. The weight of the decision, the fate of a young man's life hanging in the balance, weighed heavily on their shoulders. Ultimately, the jury found Matthew Edgar guilty of murder. His claims of amnesia were dismissed, his fate sealed by the weight of the evidence against him. He was sentenced to life in prison, a sentence that offers little solace to the family of Libby Lewis, whose life was tragically cut short on that fateful Halloween night. The town of Hemphill, once a quiet community, was forever changed, scarred by the tragedy that unfolded within its borders. Libby Lewis, a vibrant young woman with a bright future ahead of her, became a symbol of the fragility of life and the devastating consequences of violence. Her death served as a chilling reminder of the destructive power of unchecked anger and the importance of seeking help for those struggling with addiction and mental health issues. The blackout murder of Libby Lewis serves as a chilling reminder of the devastating consequences of alcohol abuse and the fragility of human life. It is a cautionary tale, a stark reminder that the choices we make, even in moments of darkness and confusion, can have irreversible and tragic consequences. The case continues to resonate with communities across the country, serving as a poignant reminder of the importance of addressing issues of domestic violence, alcohol abuse, and mental health. The year was 2021. In the quiet suburban streets of Canton, Georgia, a chilling incident shattered the peace of a seemingly ordinary neighborhood. A woman, terrorized in her own home, reported a terrifying encounter with an intruder, a man dressed as Batman. The victim, a young mother named Morgan Metzer, recounted a horrifying ordeal. In the dead of night, she was awakened by the sound of glass shattering. Fear gripped her as she saw a shadowy figure standing in her doorway. This wasn't a typical burglar. This intruder wore a black mask, a chilling replica of the iconic Batman cowl, complete with bat ears. The masked figure, armed with a gun, bound Metzer's wrists with zip ties and subjected her to a terrifying ordeal. He demanded money, but the encounter quickly escalated beyond a simple robbery. The intruder's behavior was erratic, his words chillingly reminiscent of the Batman character, a chilling blend of fantasy and menace. The incident sent shockwaves through the community. Fear gripped the neighborhood as residents wondered if this was an isolated incident or the work of a deranged individual. The Batman intruder became a local legend, a terrifying figure lurking in the shadows. The investigation quickly intensified. Local authorities, aided by the FBI, scoured the area for clues, interviewing neighbors and analyzing forensic evidence. The chilling details of the attack, the Batman mask, the chillingly familiar dialogue, baffled investigators. Who was this disturbed individual, and what was driving them to commit such a bizarre and terrifying crime? The case gained national attention, fueling public fascination and fear. Speculation ran rampant, ranging from a deranged fan to a more sinister motive. Was this a random act of violence, or was there a deeper, more disturbing connection to the Batman mythology? The investigation led to a surprising arrest. A local man, 32-year-old Joseph Bennett, was apprehended and charged with the home invasion. Bennett, it turned out, had a history of mental health issues and a disturbing obsession with Batman. His apartment, upon search, revealed a chilling collection of Batman memorabilia, including the mask used in the attack. The year was 2001. In the vibrant heart of San Francisco, life moved at a frenetic pace. Diane Whipple, a vibrant and beloved lacrosse coach, was a fixture in the community, her infectious laughter echoing through the halls of the gym where she coached. She was known for her infectious energy, her unwavering dedication to her athletes, and her kind and compassionate spirit. On that fateful January afternoon, as Diane returned home from the grocery store, her life was tragically cut short. As she stepped off the elevator in her apartment building, a terrifying scene unfolded. Two massive Presa Canario dogs, Bane and Hera, erupted from the apartment of her neighbors, Marjorie Knoller and Robert Knoll. The attack was swift and brutal, a terrifying scene of unimaginable violence. The dogs, powerful and aggressive, unleashed a torrent of fury upon Diane, mauling her mercilessly. Her screams, a chilling testament to her terror, echoed through the building. A sound that would forever haunt the residents of the apartment complex. The attack was not just a tragedy. It was a chilling reminder of the fragility of life and the potential dangers lurking within our own communities. The news of the attack sent shockwaves through the city. Fear gripped the neighborhood as residents questioned their own safety. Children were afraid to leave their homes. The once vibrant streets now filled with a sense of unease and dread. The attack shattered the illusion of safety, forcing residents to confront the potential dangers lurking within their own communities. The case gained national attention, fueling a fierce debate about breed-specific legislation. Animal rights activists argued against breed discrimination, emphasizing that responsible ownership, not breed restrictions, was the key to preventing such tragedies. They pointed to the countless instances of loving and responsible owners of powerful breeds, arguing that focusing on breed rather than individual behavior was misguided and unfair. However, others called for stricter regulations on potentially dangerous breeds, arguing that the safety of the public should be paramount. They pointed to the Diane Whipple case as a chilling example of the devastating consequences of irresponsible dog ownership and the potential for even the most well-intentioned owners to underestimate the power and unpredictability of certain breeds. The aftermath of the attack was a legal and social battle. Whipple's family filed a lawsuit against the dog owners, seeking justice for their tragic loss. The case became a landmark legal battle, raising important questions about liability and the responsibility of dog owners. The trial captivated the nation, with every detail of the attack, every piece of evidence scrutinized under the intense glare of the media spotlight. The trial culminated in a shocking verdict. Marjorie Knoller, one of the dog owners, was found guilty of second-degree murder. A landmark decision that sent a powerful message about the responsibility of dog owners. Robert Knoll, her partner, was convicted of involuntary manslaughter. The verdicts sparked intense debate, raising questions about the role of individual responsibility and the potential consequences of failing to properly control dangerous animals. The Diane Whipple case serves as a chilling reminder of the potential dangers of irresponsible pet ownership and the devastating consequences of animal attacks. It sparked a national conversation about breed-specific legislation, animal control, and the importance of responsible pet ownership. Beyond the legal and social ramifications, the case had a profound impact on the community. The vibrant energy that once characterized the neighborhood was replaced by a lingering sense of unease and fear. The memory of Diane Whipple, a vibrant and beloved member of the community, continues to serve as a poignant reminder of the fragility of life and the unexpected dangers that can lurk within our own communities. The year was 1976. In the bustling city of Phoenix, Arizona, investigative reporter Don Bolus was a thorn in the side of the powerful. With a relentless pursuit of truth, Bolus had been digging into a web of corruption that connected local politicians, developers, and organized crime. His articles in the Arizona Republic exposed shady land deals, political payoffs, and the insidious influence of the mob. On June 2nd, his relentless pursuit of justice came to a violent end. As Bolas was leaving the Clarendon Hotel, a powerful explosion ripped through his car. The force of the blast was devastating, leaving him critically injured. Despite desperate efforts to save him, Bolas succumbed to his injuries 11 days later. The bombing of Don Bowles sent shockwaves through the journalism community. It was a chilling reminder of the dangers faced by those who dare to expose corruption and speak truth to power. The attack ignited a firestorm of controversy, fueling public outrage and demanding a thorough investigation. The FBI, along with local authorities, launched a massive manhunt, determined to bring the perpetrators to justice. The investigation led them down a dark path, uncovering a web of corruption that extended to the highest levels of power. It became clear that Bolas' relentless pursuit of truth had made him a target, a threat to the powerful interests he was investigating. The subsequent trial was a gripping drama, a clash between the forces of justice and the forces of corruption. The prosecution presented a compelling case, connecting the bombing to a conspiracy involving powerful figures within the city. The defense, however, fought valiantly, casting doubt on the evidence and portraying the prosecution's case as a witch hunt. Despite facing fierce opposition, the prosecution ultimately prevailed. Several individuals were convicted in connection with the bombing, including members of a shadowy organization with ties to organized crime. The bombing of Don Bowles serves as a chilling reminder of the dangers faced by journalists who dare to expose corruption and speak truth to power. It remains a landmark case in the history of investigative journalism, a testament to the courage and resilience of those who fight for truth and justice in the face of adversity. The case of Don Bowles continues to resonate with journalists today, serving as a stark reminder of the importance of their work and the potential risks involved. It is a story that underscores the vital role of a free and independent press in a democratic society, and the unwavering commitment to truth and justice that must guide their pursuit. The year is 2014. In the quiet suburban streets of Michigan, a sense of unease began to settle over the community of Farmington Hills. 14-year-old April Millsap, an avid horseback rider with a bright smile and a love for animals, vanished without a trace. April had set out for a routine evening bike ride along the scenic Paint Creek Trail, a popular destination for local residents. As the sun began to set, casting long shadows across the path, April's parents grew concerned. When she failed to return home by nightfall, a wave of panic washed over the community. The search for April turned into a desperate race against time. Law enforcement agencies, aided by a sea of volunteers, combed the rugged terrain, their hope dwindling with each passing hour. The silence that followed her disappearance was deafening, a constant, agonizing reminder of the unknown. The once tranquil trail, now a haunting reminder of the tragedy, became a symbol of fear and uncertainty. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months. The silence that followed her disappearance was deafening, a constant, agonizing reminder of the lives abruptly extinguished. The community, once a tapestry of shared joys and sorrows, was now shrouded in a pall of fear and uncertainty. Then, a chilling discovery. April's body was found near the trail, a victim of a brutal and senseless act of violence. The news sent shockwaves through the community, plunging the town into a state of grief and fear. The investigation that followed was a painstaking process. Law enforcement agencies, aided by forensic experts, meticulously combed the crime scene, searching for any clues, any trace of the killer. The community, shaken to its core, rallied together, offering support to the grieving family and providing any information they could to aid in the investigation. The case captivated national attention, fueling public fear and anxiety. The possibility that a dangerous predator was lurking in their midst instilled a sense of unease in the hearts of residents across the country. The investigation led to the arrest of James Van Dyke, a convicted sex offender with a history of violence. The trial that followed was a gripping drama, a clash between the forces of justice and the forces of evil. The prosecution presented a compelling case, painting a chilling portrait of a dangerous predator who had preyed upon an innocent victim. The defense, however, fought valiantly, casting doubt on the evidence and attempting to portray Van Dyke as a victim of circumstance. Ultimately, Van Dyke was convicted of murder and sentenced to life in prison. The verdict provided a measure of justice for April and her family, but the scars of the tragedy remain. The case of April Millsap serves as a chilling reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of evil. It is a story that continues to haunt the community of Farmington Hills, a constant reminder of the darkness that can lurk just beneath the surface of everyday life. The year was 2005. In the small town of Ocilla, Georgia, a sense of tranquility hung heavy in the air. Tara Grinstead, a beloved high school history teacher and former beauty queen, was preparing for a weekend getaway with friends. Life in Ocilla, a quiet town where everyone knew everyone, seemed to follow a predictable rhythm. But that rhythm was shattered on the evening of October 22nd, when Tara vanished without a trace. Tara, known for her infectious laugh and unwavering dedication to her students, was last seen at a local barbecue. As the hours turned into days and then weeks, a chilling silence descended upon the town. The disappearance of Tara Grinstead, a vibrant and beloved member of the community, sent shockwaves through the quiet streets of Ocilla. Fear and uncertainty gripped the town as residents questioned their own safety, and the idyllic image of their small-town life shattered. The search for Tara turned into a desperate race against time. Law enforcement agencies, aided by a sea of volunteers, combed the surrounding countryside, their hope dwindling with each passing day. The silence that followed her disappearance was deafening, a constant, agonizing reminder of the unknown. The once tranquil streets of Oscilla now echoed with whispers of fear and unease. Years turned into decades. The memory of Tara faded for some, but for her family and friends, the pain of her loss remained a constant ache. The unanswered questions, the chilling mystery surrounding her disappearance, cast a long shadow over the community. Hope dwindled, replaced by a creeping sense of despair. Then, a chilling breakthrough. In 2017, a former student of Tara Grinstead, Ryan Duke, was arrested and charged with her murder. The news sent shockwaves through the community, offering a glimmer of hope for justice, but also a chilling reminder of the darkness that can lurk within the hearts of those we know. The trial that followed was a gripping drama, a clash between the forces of justice and the forces of evil. The prosecution presented a compelling case, painting a chilling portrait of a troubled young man who had succumbed to a violent rage. The defense, however, fought valiantly, casting doubt on the evidence and attempting to portray Duke as a victim of circumstance. Ultimately, Ryan Duke was convicted of concealing Tara Grinstead's death, though the jury was unable to reach a verdict on the murder charge. While not the full measure of justice they sought, the conviction brought a degree of closure to the community, offering a sense of relief and a glimmer of hope that the truth would eventually prevail. The disappearance and murder of Tara Grinstead serves as a chilling reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of evil. It is a story that continues to haunt the community of Oscilla, a constant reminder of the darkness that can lurk just beneath the surface of everyday life. This script aims to capture the essence of the Tara Grinstead case, focusing on the key elements: the tragic circumstances of her disappearance, the fear that gripped the community, the investigative process, and the impact of the tragedy on the community. The year is 1947. In the glamorous city of Los Angeles, a chilling silence descended upon the affluent neighborhood of Benedict Canyon. Elizabeth Short, a young aspiring actress with dreams of Hollywood stardom, was found brutally murdered, her body mutilated and discarded in Leimert Park. Elizabeth, known to many as the Black Dahlia due to her raven hair and striking beauty, was a vision of ambition and glamour. Her tragic demise sent shockwaves through the city, igniting fear and paranoia among residents. The brutal nature of the crime, the meticulousness of the disfigurement, suggested a killer with a twisted mind and a chilling disregard for human life. The investigation quickly became a media circus, with every detail of the case dissected and analyzed by the public and the media alike. The Black Dahlia became a symbol of the city's dark underbelly, a chilling reminder that even in the glamorous world of Hollywood, danger lurked beneath the surface. Detectives pursued every lead, interviewing countless individuals, but the killer remained elusive. The lack of a clear motive, the meticulousness of the crime, and the sheer brutality of the act baffled investigators. The case, despite the intense media scrutiny, grew cold, the killer seemingly vanishing into thin air. Years turned into decades. The memory of Elizabeth Short faded for some, but for others, she remained a haunting symbol of the city's dark side. The unanswered questions, the chilling mystery surrounding her death, continued to fascinate and terrify. The Black Dahlia murder became a chilling legend, a cautionary tale of the dark side of ambition and the fragility of human life. It inspired countless books, movies, and documentaries, each offering a new interpretation of the chilling events, each attempting to piece together the fragments of a shattered life. The case of the Black Dahlia remains one of the most notorious unsolved mysteries in American history. It serves as a chilling reminder of the enduring power of evil and the fragility of human life. The chilling silence that followed her death, a constant, agonizing reminder of the unanswered questions, continues to haunt the city of Los Angeles, a chilling testament to the darkness that can lurk just beneath the surface of even the most glamorous facade. This script aims to capture the essence of the Black Dahlia case, focusing on the key elements, the tragic circumstances of her murder, the fear that gripped the community, the investigative process, and the enduring mystery that continues to haunt the city. The anticipation had been building for weeks. Chris Smith and Leslie Reeves, both navigating the complexities of online dating, were excited for their first date. They had spent hours chatting online, their conversations ranging from the mundane to the deeply personal. Leslie, with her infectious laugh and zest for life, had captivated Chris. He felt a spark of hope flicker within him, a glimmer of possibility amidst the uncertainty of modern romance. That November evening in 2021, their first date began innocently enough. They settled into Chris's home in Farmersville, Illinois, enjoying each other's company, the air filled with the quiet murmur of conversation and the soft glow of the lamplight. But the tranquility of the evening was shattered in an instant. A deafening crash shattered the peaceful ambiance. The front door burst open, and a masked intruder erupted into the room, unleashing a barrage of gunfire. The ensuing chaos was a blur of terror and confusion. Leslie, struck by bullets, crumpled to the floor, her laughter silenced forever. Chris, miraculously, managed to survive, but only after sustaining a life-threatening gunshot wound to the head. The quiet suburban street, once a haven of peace, was now a scene of unimaginable violence. The sound of sirens pierced the stillness of the night, shattering the tranquility of the neighborhood. As emergency responders rushed to the scene, the fate of both Chris and Leslie hung in the balance. Chris, fighting for his life in the hospital, faced a long road to recovery. The physical wounds were severe, but the emotional scars ran even deeper. The memory of the attack, the chilling silence that followed the gunfire, the image of Leslie lying lifeless on the floor haunted his every waking moment. He struggled to come to terms with the trauma, the fear, the profound sense of loss. The investigation that followed was a painstaking process. Detectives meticulously combed the crime scene, searching for any clues, any trace of the intruder. They interviewed neighbors, sifted through Chris's online dating history, and pursued every lead, however faint, in their relentless pursuit of justice. The community, shaken by the senseless violence, rallied around Chris, offering support and prayers for his recovery. The fatal first date episode of 48 Hours delved deep into the harrowing details of the attack, exploring the emotional and psychological impact on Chris and his family. It showcased the tireless efforts of law enforcement as they pursued the elusive killer, piecing together the fragments of that terrifying night. The case served as a chilling reminder of the unpredictable nature of life and the importance of vigilance in an increasingly interconnected world. It also highlighted the resilience of the human spirit and the power of hope in the face of unimaginable tragedy. Chris, despite the trauma he endured, emerged as a symbol of hope and resilience. His journey of recovery, both physical and emotional, became a testament to the human spirit's ability to heal and find strength in the face of unimaginable adversity. The anticipation had been building for weeks. Chris Smith and Leslie Reeves, both navigating the complexities of online dating, were excited for their first date. They had spent hours chatting online, their conversations ranging from the mundane to the deeply personal. Leslie, with her infectious laugh and zest for life, had captivated Chris. He felt a spark of hope flicker within him, a glimmer of possibility amidst the uncertainty of modern romance. That November evening in 2021, their first date began innocently enough. They settled into Chris's home in Farmersville, Illinois, enjoying each other's company, the air filled with the quiet murmur of conversation and the soft glow of the lamplight. But the tranquility of the evening was shattered in an instant. A deafening crash shattered the peaceful ambiance. The front door burst open, and a masked intruder erupted into the room, unleashing a barrage of gunfire. The ensuing chaos was a blur of terror and confusion. Leslie, struck by bullets, crumpled to the floor, her laughter silenced forever. Chris miraculously managed to survive, but only after sustaining a life-threatening gunshot wound to the head. The quiet suburban street, once a haven of peace, was now a scene of unimaginable violence. The sound of sirens pierced the stillness of the night, shattering the tranquility of the neighborhood. As emergency responders rushed to the scene, the fate of both Chris and Leslie hung in the balance. Chris, fighting for his life in the hospital, faced a long road to recovery. The physical wounds were severe, but the emotional scars ran even deeper. The memory of the attack, the chilling silence that followed the gunfire, the image of Leslie lying lifeless on the floor haunted his every waking moment. He struggled to come to terms with the trauma, the fear, the profound sense of loss. The investigation that followed was a painstaking process. Detectives meticulously combed the crime scene, searching for any clues, any trace of the intruder. They interviewed neighbors, sifted through Chris's online dating history, and pursued every lead, however faint, in their relentless pursuit of justice. The community, shaken by the senseless violence, rallied around Chris, offering support and prayers for his recovery. The case served as a chilling reminder of the unpredictable nature of life and the importance of vigilance in an increasingly interconnected world. It also highlighted the resilience of the human spirit and the power of hope in the face of unimaginable tragedy. Chris, despite the trauma he endured, emerged as a symbol of hope and resilience. His journey of recovery, both physical and emotional, became a testament to the human spirit's ability to heal and find strength in the face of unimaginable adversity. The air in Mount Morris, Illinois, hung heavy with the scent of wood smoke and the promise of a crisp autumn. It was a time for harvest festivals, football games, and the cozy warmth of community gatherings. But the idyllic facade of this small town was shattered on a crisp November evening when a devastating fire engulfed the home of Melissa Lamesh, a beloved young EMT known for her infectious laugh and unwavering dedication to helping others. Melissa, with her dreams of becoming a paramedic and her unwavering dedication to her profession, was a beacon of hope in the community. She volunteered at the local fire department, her cheerful demeanor a welcome sight amidst the serious nature of their work. Melissa was more than just an EMT. She was a friend, a daughter, a source of light in the lives of many. The news of the tragedy sent shockwaves through the community, leaving residents reeling in disbelief. Melissa, a young woman with a bright future ahead of her, was tragically lost in the blaze. The initial investigation pointed towards a tragic accident, a house fire fueled by unforeseen circumstances. However, as investigators delved deeper, a chilling suspicion began to emerge. The fire, they suspected, was not an accident but a deliberate act, a sinister plot to conceal a darker truth. The investigation that followed was a painstaking process. Detectives meticulously combed through the debris, searching for any clues, any trace of foul play. They interviewed neighbors, sifted through Melissa's life, searching for any hint of a motive, any enemy who might have wanted to harm her. As they delved deeper, a chilling pattern began to emerge. Cal Davidson, a respected member of the community and a fellow firefighter, had a history of predatory behavior, a pattern of deceit and manipulation that had left a trail of broken hearts and shattered lives in its wake. Davidson, a man who was supposed to protect and serve his community, had instead preyed upon the trust and vulnerability of those around him. As the investigation unfolded, a chilling picture emerged of Davidson's manipulative behavior. He would groom his victims, showering them with attention and affection, only to isolate them and exert control over their lives. He would exploit their vulnerabilities, their hopes and dreams, for his own selfish desires, leaving a trail of broken hearts and shattered lives in his wake. The case sent shockwaves through the community, shattering the illusion of safety and security that had long defined this small town. The news of Davidson's crimes left residents reeling, questioning the trust they had placed in those entrusted to protect them. The story of Melissa Lamesh and the subsequent investigation served as a chilling reminder of the dangers that can lurk within seemingly ordinary communities, and the importance of vigilance in protecting the vulnerable. It highlighted the devastating impact of abuse on its victims, the long-lasting trauma, and the courage it takes to come forward and seek justice. The events that unfolded in Mount Morris served as a stark reminder of the importance of community support, the resilience of the human spirit in the face of tragedy, and the unwavering pursuit of justice. The air in St. Paul, Minnesota, hung heavy with the chill of a December night. Inside her cozy apartment, 32-year-old Alex Pennig, a vibrant nurse with a passion for life, was preparing for a quiet evening at home. Little did she know this would be the last night of her life. Early the next morning, a chilling discovery shattered the peace of the neighborhood. Alex was found lifeless in her bathtub, a single gunshot wound to the head. Initially, authorities ruled her death a suicide. Her boyfriend, Matthew Ecker, claimed to have found her, the gun resting on her left hand, despite her being right-handed. However, as investigators delved deeper, a series of perplexing details began to emerge. The trajectory of the bullet, the positioning of Alex's body, the lack of a suicide note, all raised troubling questions. Was this truly a suicide, or was something more sinister at play? The investigation that followed was a painstaking process. Detectives meticulously combed through the crime scene, searching for any clues, any trace of a struggle. any evidence that could shed light on the mysterious circumstances surrounding Alex's death. They interviewed friends, family, and colleagues, piecing together the puzzle of her life and her relationships. As the investigation unfolded, a chilling picture began to emerge. Matthew Ecker, the man who claimed to have found Alex, presented a series of inconsistencies in his story. His account of the events leading up to her death, riddled with contradictions, raised serious doubts about his credibility. Detectives began to suspect that Ecker, far from being a grieving boyfriend, may have been involved in Alex's death. The evidence, though circumstantial, pointed towards a darker scenario, one that painted a chilling portrait of a man capable of deception and violence. The case captivated the attention of the community, fueling speculation and raising questions about the true nature of Alex's death. Was it truly a suicide, or was something more sinister at play? As the investigation continued, the chilling truth slowly began to emerge, revealing a story of deception, manipulation, and ultimately tragedy. This case serves as a chilling reminder of the fragility of life and the importance of unwavering pursuit of truth. It highlights the complexities of human relationships and the devastating consequences of deception and violence. The air in the quiet Idaho community hung heavy with the weight of disbelief. Kendi Howard, a vibrant woman with a contagious laugh and a heart of gold, was gone. Found lifeless in her bathtub, the initial reports painted a picture of tragedy, a suicide. Her husband, Dan, a former Idaho state trooper, was inconsolable, his grief palpable as he recounted the horrifying scene. But beneath the surface of this apparent tragedy, a chilling darkness lurked. The official narrative, however, began to unravel almost immediately. Discrepancies emerged in Dan's account of the events leading up to Kendi's death. The positioning of her body, the trajectory of the fatal gunshot, the lack of a suicide note, all raised troubling questions. The investigation that followed was a painstaking process, a meticulous dissection of a life cut tragically short. Detectives, driven by a relentless pursuit of truth, meticulously combed through the crime scene, searching for any evidence, any trace of a struggle, any clue that could unravel the mystery. They interviewed friends, family, and colleagues, piecing together the puzzle of Kendi's life, her dreams, her fears, and the complexities of her marriage. As the investigation deepened, a chilling picture began to emerge. Dan Howard, the man who claimed to have found his wife, was not the grieving husband he portrayed himself to be. Evidence pointed towards a life of deception, of a man struggling to maintain control, of a marriage fraught with tension and resentment. The initial reports of a tragic suicide gradually morphed into a chilling tale of domestic abuse and cold-blooded murder. Investigators uncovered a history of marital discord, of financial strain, and of a man grappling with the sense of diminishing control. The evidence, though circumstantial, painted a chilling portrait of a man driven by jealousy and rage, a man capable of unspeakable acts. The case captivated the attention of the community, fueling speculation and raising questions about the true nature of Kendi's death. Was it truly a suicide, as Dan claimed? Or was it a cold-blooded murder carefully orchestrated to appear as a tragic accident? The community, once a place of tranquility, was now shrouded in a pall of unease, the shadow of suspicion falling upon every neighbor, every interaction. As the investigation unfolded, the chilling truth slowly began to emerge. Dan Howard, the man who was supposed to protect his wife, had instead taken her life, shattering the illusion of a happy marriage and leaving behind a trail of shattered lives. The case of Kendi Howard serves as a chilling reminder of the fragility of life and the enduring power of truth. It highlights the importance of unwavering pursuit of justice, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable obstacles. The air in the quiet Idaho community hung heavy with the weight of disbelief. Kendi Howard, a vibrant woman with a contagious laugh and a heart of gold, was gone. Found lifeless in her bathtub, the initial reports painted a picture of tragedy, a suicide. Her husband, Dan, a former Idaho state trooper, was inconsolable, his grief palpable as he recounted the horrifying scene. But beneath the surface of this apparent tragedy, a chilling darkness lurked. The official narrative, however, began to unravel almost immediately. Discrepancies emerged in Dan's account of the events leading up to Kendi's death. The positioning of her body, the trajectory of the fatal gunshot, the lack of a suicide note, all raised troubling questions. The air in the quiet suburban neighborhood hung heavy with the weight of disbelief. Dr. James Crippen, a respected surgeon with a distinguished career, sat on the edge of his chair, his face etched with grief, recounting the horrifying events of the previous evening. His wife, Nancy, a vibrant and beloved figure in the community, lay lifeless in their bathtub, a single gunshot wound to the head. The initial reports painted a picture of a tragic accident, a domestic dispute that had spiraled out of control. Dr. Crippen, a pillar of the community, was inconsolable, his grief palpable as he described finding his wife, the gun lying nearby. The scene, with its air of domestic tranquility shattered by the sudden and violent intrusion of death, sent shockwaves through the neighborhood. However, as investigators delved deeper, a chilling suspicion began to emerge. The official narrative, however, began to unravel. Discrepancies emerged in Dr. Crippen's account of the events leading up to Nancy's death. The positioning of her body, the trajectory of the fatal gunshot, the lack of a suicide note, all raised troubling questions. The investigation that followed was a meticulous dissection of a life cut tragically short. Detectives meticulously combed through the crime scene, searching for any clues, any trace of a struggle, any evidence that could shed light on the mystery surrounding Nancy's death. They interviewed friends, family, and colleagues, piecing together the puzzle of her life, her dreams, her fears, and the complexities of her marriage. As the investigation deepened, a chilling picture began to emerge. Dr. Crippen, the man who claimed to have found his wife, was not the grieving husband he portrayed himself to be. Evidence pointed towards a life of deception, of a man struggling with mounting financial pressures, of a marriage fraught with tension and resentment. Dr. Crippen, a man who held the lives of others in his hands as a surgeon, was now the focus of the investigation, his own life unraveling before him. Investigators discovered a web of financial difficulties, a life of extravagant spending and mounting debts. This financial pressure, coupled with a growing sense of resentment towards his wife, painted a chilling portrait of a man driven to desperate measures. The case captivated the attention of the community, fueling speculation and raising questions about the true nature of Kendi's death. Was it truly a suicide, as Dr. Crippen claimed, or was it a cold-blooded murder carefully orchestrated to appear as a tragic accident? The community, once a place of tranquility, was now shrouded in a pall of unease, the shadow of suspicion falling upon every neighbor, every interaction. As the investigation continued, the chilling truth slowly began to emerge. Dr. Crippen, the man who held the lives of others in his hands, had coldly and deliberately taken the life of his wife, shattering the illusion of a happy marriage and leaving behind a trail of shattered lives. The case of Nancy Crippen serves as a chilling reminder of the fragility of human life and the enduring power of truth. It highlights the importance of unwavering pursuit of justice, even in the face of seemingly insurmountable obstacles.